enjoys these tariffs. He's having a whale of a time, he is, yeah. It's like a pastime for him. It's like he's on the hunt. He ain't caught anything, but it's like he's on the hunt. And unfortunately, everybody else, just a second, we're all having to listen to him and deal with the aftermath of Donald Trump and his tariffs. And it's been revealed that in the Politico and another paper that Donald Trump is absolutely, and he's loving it. He's loving it, absolutely loving it. He doesn't want, he ain't really that bothered whether there's a tariff deal or not. It's just like a big game to him. He's feeling the power, and that's what he wants, it's power. Behold countries to his beck and call. And it's working. But there ain't no trade deals. There's supposed to be 90 deals in 90 days, he said. Where are they? I know you're going to say, well, there's a trade deal between the United Kingdom and the United States. These are all frameworks. They're not full-blown out trade deals. They're just like a concept of a deal. That's all they are. It's just been portrayed or promoted as if it is the full-blown thing, and it's not. For a start, trade deals take years to negotiate. They're not done overnight. So the idea that Donald Trump's going to do it in 90 days was absolutely ridiculous. But it's what he said. And people believed him. Madness. Cognitive dissonance. It's just this level of tribalism, I suppose, where people will just suckle onto us every single word that comes out of that funny little mouth of his and believe it. And what after I was, this attitude and this behaviour towards the truth, it's been unfolding to a level of depravity. It's not just the tariffs, there's a level of depravity amongst that ilk, amongst the people who follow Donald Trump. People who have been saying that the floods in Texas are fake. They're not real, they say. And you get somebody else who leaves comments on videos and what have you and say things like, well, they're really rich kids that are dying. As if that makes any bloody difference whatsoever, if they were or if they're not, to be fair, but I just feel sometimes that the United States is just absolutely lost. It's in a really bad place. And it worries me that other countries will follow suit. We have been teetering on the edge. We have in France, for instance. I live in France, you say. Yeah, we've been teetering on the edge in France with Marine Le Pen, where she's not allowed to act as a politician at the moment. Basically, she's a criminal. We saw what was going on in Hungary, but the people already stood up against them. And now his support is, well, it's dwindling fast. Good. Well, they've still got a political system where there is actually some form of democracy. Unlike some countries, like Turkey, for instance, that's not democracy there, is it? It's not democracy in Russia, or obviously, all communist countries. But these people, they suck up to this stuff. They love the level of hate. They feed off it. It's like a disease that needs feeding. And they do. And It's sad to see, but then it makes me think to myself, well, what are the options now? Before this disease spread in the United States to, say, the continent of Europe, for instance, it's like, maybe you got to break it before you can mend it. You can't make an omelette without breaking through eggs, and that may be that the United States. Sorry about that. Let me just get rid of that. Marked. Yeah, marked and cool. Probably solar panels. The United States is so lost, and it's not a majority of people necessarily, but there's a huge proportion of the population of the United States is so lost. The only way you're ever going to fix it is to break it. Is to break it. So you've got a chance to rebuild it. So you get the Phoenix might fly from the ashes or rise from the ashes. Now, somebody said this to me, actually it was my son actually, with Brexit in the UK. Brexit has got, for people to wake up to it, Brexit has got to fail big time. The problem with Brexit, there's been so many disasters, like for instance the pandemic, the war in Ukraine, what have you. It's it masks a lot of the issues regarding Brexit, and that's all coming to the surface now. When will this happen for those in the United States? When will people wake up? When will people realise that they've been sold a pup? You see, there's these tariffs, what have you. You say we're winning on the tariffs, but he says, don't he? But there's a leak that's found its way into the Politico, stating that Donald Trump basically is using the tariffs as a form of entertainment. He's loving it. He's enjoying it. And it's a way to control and manipulate and just to make these countries, lives of the citizens of those countries' lives harder, tougher, so he always wants to be in the press. He always wants to be in the limelight. He always wants to, be followed. And if you don't, if you don't love him, you just hate him, he will do his best to hurt you. And he knows how we talk about the United States, and in particular Donald Trump. He's a fucking idiot. He's a horrendous excuse of a man. Hello, Crumb. Don't matter, my friend. Anarchy! I say anarchy. Yes, mate. That might be the only way, Break it. Have a dystopia. Try and rebuild it. I sound like Harry Potter. Okay. Good morning from Canada. Hello, Curious. Hope you're well. I'm from London. I'm from Norfolk, which is east of the United Kingdom. Morning, Cats. I hope you're well. So I'm getting through sort of rather strange people that real life TV says, "Oh, Pride Month hat." What? Because it's purple. I'm not homophobic. I'm also not gay. Just so you know. And I've got a very nice life actually. I live in a very nice house. I live in a very nice place. I can sit out there and have a glass of wine if I want and watch the sun go down. All from the comfort of my own home. So, I'm quite happy in my life. Yeah, he's Harry Potter in his 50s. Oh, dear. Hey, morning there, Billy. Hope you well. Scroll down. Cheers, Alistair. Thank you. Heard that Trump has postponed the tariffs till the 1st of August. He's playing with us. And that's literally what this leak... I found an article, but it's also a sort of video clip on
Donald
Hawks.
Trump's not going
There
to
you
have
go.
a very good Saturday night when he finds out that somebody within his administration, somebody apparently deeply embedded in his administration, is leaking secrets to the press, specifically in regards to the tariffs and trade war. It would appear that the reason why this tariffs and trade war is going on since Donald Trump took office is purely for his own entertainment and increase of TV viewings and ratings for Donald Trump. Incredible as this may sound. So Political and also The Beast have found somebody within the Trump administration who is willing to share secrets to them, and they said that the trade tariff situation is all one big fake. Donald Trump just wants to be entertained, and he wants to be center of attention, and he wants to be the guy that turns them on, turns them off, turns them on, turns them off. This is stunning news, just stunning. There is no trade agreement plan. It's all just a game to entertain Donald Trump. Folks, the source for this is Political. My name is Nick. I love you guys to give me thoughts on this in the comments. I love you guys to give me a follow. So, Donald Trump's not going to have a very good Saturday night when he finds out that somebody within his...
So what do you think of that, then? It's all one big game. And it's in the Politico if you want to read it. I would be a bit surprised. Sounds like a conspiracy theory, but I just would not be a bit surprised. It's Trump all over, isn't it? It's all about his ratings. Although his ratings have plummeted in the real world. Yeah, I heard that Trump has postponed the tariffs, yeah. So the tariffs are just a distraction, basically, yes. Distraction and a little pet project for Donald Trump so he can literally make everyone's lives a misery. These people, you know. Why do people think I'm gay? It's got a purple hat, probably. It's a common response, common when people got nothing else to say, nothing better to say. They can't even come up with an original insult. It's not even an insult. I'm not homophobic anyway, so it doesn't bother me. You know, what if I was gay? Does it really make any difference? But I'm not. So there you go. Oh, apparently Trump is the greatest, but won't actually tell us why. Come on, tell us why Donald Trump is the greatest. I would love to have that debate with you. What has he actually done for you? Other than, push up the cost of food. You haven't got an answer, have you? Nope. No. He's probably just a troll. All I see is the same stupid comments. So cheers, buddy. It's become very thanks doing that. It's the same rubbish, isn't it? It really is the same rubbish again and again and again, and you get the same comments or the same type of comment in every single live stream because they don't like what I have to say. They haven't got an answer to it or an argument for it because they just don't have the brain capacity to be able to articulate it. It's quite pathetic, really. It really is. And when I say, when he's calling YouTube live streams, podcasts, I've even people calling him, and you listen to these Magri people who try and debate with somebody who clearly, with somebody who knows what they're talking about, and they dance around on the head of a pin, and it's they go on about the Constitution and stuff like that, and it's like they draw it out of all for what it actually means. They just out of all proportion, it makes no sense, and they believe this stuff. They believe their own lies and their own. In fact, it's like they're manipulating themselves. It's like they are grooming themselves. It does get a little bit old, yes. I just wish people would just have something. Good morning there, Stretch Armstrong. I just wish people have something a bit more to say. On the right, just because I'm sure there are people there who have got a right-wing views and what have you, and they might have something legitimate. And I don't know why my glasses are very dirty. A legitimate point of view about something that's happened in the past or what's going on now, but they never do. It's the same old stuff. It's the same old stuff which could be debunked again and again and again. I look like Jack Black, apparently. I ain't heard that one before. Oh dear. I don't understand. Are you trying to insult someone? Who am I trying to insult? I'm not trying to insult anybody. All I know is that when I get stupid comments in my chat, that they have no substance. And that would obviously, if you're not going to articulate anything worth listening to or worth reading or participating with, clearly I'm going to belittle it because it's pathetic. Are you gay? Come on, you're better than that, can't you? Howdy, JQ. Same comments are coming from the thick American chat with low IQ. Well, it's not that easy to say something. I don't understand that. Why isn't it easy to say something? Yeah, if people believe in Donald Trump to that much and believe everything that he says, you could say that, I suppose. But back it up with something. Because a lot of the stuff, the majority of it that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth is just outright lies and misinformation. So he is, He's always been a grifter, always. He's always scammed taxes. He's scammed his he had his heel spurs, so he didn't get enlisted. He's always on the scam. He's a grifter. He's just a grifter. So the euro has strengthened over 20% against the dollar. It's actually not quite 100% true, that one, isn't it? It's not that the euro's got stronger, it's because the dollar's got weaker. So those people in the United States who want to travel to Europe, we're not talking about the Canadian dollar, we're just talking about the US dollar, travel to Europe are going to be paying a darn sight more. Yeah, you're gay, and Jet Black, and Harry Potter, all in one. They're silly. It doesn't offend me. I just think, oh my god, there we go again. Don't we come? Yeah, Trump 2.0 destroy our economy. It's like it is the plan. Or it's just Donald Trump's entertainment. Which I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I really wouldn't. But he is literally doing that, you're right. He is literally destroying your economy. So many businesses are shutting up shop over these tariffs. And also sentiment as well. It's not. Sometimes it doesn't even need to be something physical. It could be just a feeling. It's when you create negativity in the markets and also in trading in general, and also with individuals. Like for instance, I don't know if next month I could better afford something, so you don't buy it this month, do you? Or buy something this week. It's like you always sort of like having to penny pinch, not penny pinch. Or just conserve your money. And then it doesn't get spent, and then it affects the economy. Effectively, there's a lot of negative sentiment towards the United States. It's not, it's not necessarily just Canada. It's Europe in general, UK. We see for ourselves that everything is just becoming harder to deal with, very difficult to deal with the United States at the moment. and trade with it. And how do you plan something? Let's say, for instance, you are costing up a product. It's about to go into manufacturing. And some of these products, some of the components of those products come from China, for instance, or maybe the United Kingdom, or from wherever. And you're trying to cost us all up. You do it on the basis of maybe a year ahead or something like that, Because obviously at some point in the future you might have to put the prices up, depending on what the cost of stuff and also inflation. But when it comes down to it, if you don't know what, or have any idea whatsoever, whether or not you're going to end up with another 20% tariff or 50% tariff or whatever percentage it ends up being this month, how can you plan for it? You're not going to build a factory on the basis of it, are you? You need security. And that's to be via trust. Really fast, our first shipment of LNG. Yes, you're talking Canada. It's it went to Asia. That's a week ago. Yeah, I did mention that before. It's but it's going to bring one a hell of a lot of revenue in. And it's not just Asia. At the moment, we're buying quite a lot of LNG from the United States. But when that contract dries up, well then what? Yeah, why not from Canada if it's possible? Oh, I see. The first shipment of LNG just left for Asia a week ago, and our resources are being rerouted to the EU and Asia, and we have 30-year mineral deal with Greenland now. Yeah, so it's going the right way, isn't it? It's going the right way. It's going to get. I do honestly believe it's going to get tougher in Canada. I just, it is. In the day, 80% of your trades with the United States, so it's like, ooh. So it's definitely going to get tougher. But there will be a corner, wouldn't there, to be turned, and go turn into, and there'll be a new road. Hopefully things get good, become better. And the thing is, you can't have all your eggs in one basket. You have too much trade with the United States. You need to diversify to have stability. If you want to have a civil debate, then stop saying stupid comments. Morning from Italy. Hello in Italy. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I've been to Italy a couple of times. Florence and places like that. And Pisa. Yes, I've got the picture of me holding up. The entire Pisa. Everyone's done that, haven't they? I didn't know what. Well, I was just with my finger like that. Then I had like a little bit of lightning come out of my finger. Oh dear. Do politicians ever tell the truth? There's a problem there. Obviously, there's a lot of politicians that you don't know when they are and when they're not. That's the problem. I think there are some politicians like Mark Carney and there are some out there who would rather speak. It's the problem with a lot of these politicians. They'll tell lies when they don't even need to. Look, I've said a million times. You've always got to remember the lies, and you just trip yourself up. It's ridiculous. You just trip yourself up. There's no point. Speak the truth, shame the devil. As my dear wife's grandmother used to say, she was a funny woman, she was, very forthright. Speak the truth and shame the devil, she used to say. And then she was fart up when she's having lunch, she was fart up the table. She says, better out than in, she'd go. Oh, she was a funny woman. Our diplomatic relationships with India is getting worse. What's your take? The problem with India in any diplomatic relations in the United States, Canada, the UK, is that they're a tough cookie to negotiate with. If you don't give them what they want, you're not going to get anything, or you get a very light-hearted deal. For the United Kingdom, India wants to have. Well, they basically want to have lots of visas for Indian citizens, and obviously politically it doesn't help the current government. It could be said for the same for Canada and anyone, but it's just, for start, they don't want their trade stepped on, and we want access to their markets. And that's one of the problems between Canada and China as well, isn't it? Regarding whether it be car manufacturing, so BYD and all that. That is a real stumbling block for a relationship between Canada and China. But China might lighten up. It might open up a little bit because, not be funny, a lot of their market has been eradicated, hasn't it, because of Donald Trump. There's all people saying, "Oh, well, yeah, he cut the tariffs," and so. Well, there wasn't any tariffs before. Now, what about the products, like for instance, under $800 under the minimum? They got rid of it, didn't they? So all of a sudden, everything became tariffed. It's not something you can base trade on, is it? It's not something you can build up a business on that basis. And people buy on price, since you start adding tariffs and it pushes the prices and the value of stuff up. And also depletes the availability of some of the stuff because people stop making it because they can't make money. And everybody suffers, whether it be the haulage, obviously the shipping companies, the shops, online stores. Why is the UK buying US treasuries? My theory is for leverage. Well, Asia selling. Japan is selling a lot of US treasuries at the moment. Basically they bought a lot of dollar, aren't they? About 1.3 trillion, and they're selling big chunks of it off because they've got to secure their money. The sentiment is that the United States is going to have one massive depression, and the value of the dollar will plummet considerably. So they're going to get the money out. So they sell it, don't they? But then you've got some individuals don't see the issue, so they're buying it because it's cheap. But, and also there's a big return on the money for the interest rates are high now. As long as they get it back. But if the US gets into a situation where it defaults of its debt, that can be an issue, can't it? Hello, Billy. And JBT Online. Americans listened that they would not have a dum-dum. President Dum-Dum. Oh, dear. He is entertaining. If you're sort of like sadomasochist type person, where you like to have needles poked in your eyes, There we go. School of Rock was great, loved it. Me too, great film. Good fun. Yeah, that was weird, but the sort. Oh, sorry, I'm applying to Mark. Mark said, I can't see Mark's comment. There you go. Mark Goosey. Being both a Canadian and EU citizen, I can confirm that would be awesome subsidised travel. They do a lot of subsidised travel in the EU already, don't they? Regarding, like, for instance, summer months, they do a lot of train travel. Low, you just pay a low monthly fee, and then all your train travel is included. You can have a whale of a time. But if do they include travel with in Canada? Because Mark Carney, didn't he announce about public places like museums and stuff like that were going to be free in Canada for the holiday? It makes sense to make some of the public transport free as well. You see, it gives people opportunities, and also people in low-income families who may not be able to afford to travel to these places or visit these places because it could get expensive. And take the kids there and educate the kids. Go to museums and other exhibitions. Learn the arts. Go to galleries. I love going to galleries. I love art, basically. I'm a bit contemporary, me, but I do love to see it. I really do. Sometimes when you get a piece of art, even contemporary stuff, I just find myself staring at it for ages. I don't know why. Trump is killing it with America First. Killing what? Oh, there's lots of free camping in Canada. Oh, that's pretty cool. You got people get free camping in whether it's supposed to or not, I don't know. But I used to do a lot of free camping here in France. Let's just say that it's cheaper to fly to the UK from Newfoundland than it is flying from Newfoundland to the British Columbia. Yeah, probably. Dictator from Alabama. Yeah. Dictator from Alabama. Is it like Donald Trump? He's like in the form of some sort of Buddha as well, as he's that's sort of thing I'd expect. I'd expect like a little jade Trump. As a little jade Trump Buddha. Actually, yeah, it would be jade, wouldn't it? Well, I can't think of an orange precious stone. Oh, maybe just flint. I'll do. Or number clay. It was about buying aluminium and steel in ever increasing frequency from Canada as Trump's terms have gone on. Well, the government could subsidise Canadian steel and aluminium. They could subsidise it. I was reading something about it a couple of days ago, and that would clearly help ride the situation out, because obviously with Donald Trump and his tariffs on steel, see, this is the thing. See, what happened for hypocrisy, right? He wants everything made in the United States. He wants all the steel to be found in the foundries and what have you in the United States. Nothing can be imported. There's blah 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 blah. Or just tariff, or whatever. But when it comes down to it, he's been pressurising Apple again regarding manufacturing these Apple phones in the United States, but the Trump phone's still going to be made in China. The hypocrisy of it all is just astounding. It really is. History is repeating itself. Luckily enough, Trump isn't as organised or articulate as Hitler. No, and Trump is kinder. He's like a dictator from Temu. He's definitely a booby prize, that he is. Oh my Gideon. And if it's true about this, what they're saying in the Politico regarding these insiders saying that Donald Trump just is basically behaving the way he does for entertainment purposes and to keep the stuff in the news. Good point, Carlos. As long as the military-industrial complex exists, the hegemony of the dollar will persist. Yeah, I suppose it would, wouldn't it? Let's say, for instance, the United States does fall and ends up in some sort of like semi-dystopia where nobody's got anything, nobody can afford to live. AI is pretty much doing a big chunk of the work, and then you got the mechanisation and robots and God knows doing the other chunk of work. It's kind of like, to me, it feels like that's kind of what needs to happen for it to be able to be rebuilt, because there'll be no money. What is it going to build? What is it going to sell? If people aren't buying. If American citizens have got no money, what are they going to buy? And then would these people who do have money, the multi-billionaires, they find that they have got and they end up finding that their bank balances start depleting bit by bit by bit, because they also aren't making any money. There we come. Got a lot of conversations going on there. It's quite cool. That would, wouldn't it? freedom of movement between Canada and the European Union. I could see that happening. Canada entering the Schengen zone. I could see that happening. I could. Yeah, the more trade that we do between ourselves, more business, what have you, more research and stuff, the more, or the faster it would become a necessity to have freedom of movement between Canada and the European Union. Ice, ice, baby. Oh, is it right? You just love to see people suffer and get eaten by crocodiles. Yeah, lovely. So this is just stupid. There we go again. You're the first guy with AIDS to have such courage. Keep going, bro. With AIDS. You're pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Oh, we've got some more here. Look. Thoughts on the... Oh, God, there we go. Get more stupidity. I'm watching him from Zimbabwe. Oh, blimey. Hello, Zimbabwe. Goddy Manji. Get goosed by a moose. HR hopes up. Would sadly... Sorry, get my worms in a minute. Okay. It would sadly that the UK existed that... So I don't understand it. I haven't been there. Never been Newfoundland or Nova Scotia. I'd love to go to Canada. I really would. It's just the cost of flights are a bit prohibitive. Look, seems like you have a Bombay Bat Boy bot problem here. Yes, I do. There are some strange people. Or bots. Nothing like my brickle brackle nerdle snurdle limes. What the fuck? You do get them done here, all right. There's some strange people. Some of these people got too much time on their hands, haven't they, you know? You're missing out. Come over for a visit. I'd like to. It's just that it's quite costly, and I really can't afford it at the moment. And I can't leave the dogs at the minute either. So that'd be something I'd do because my dog's getting very old, and we don't know how long we can have him. Especially Sebastian, because he's very poorly. He might last a year. We don't know. We'll see. He might not. The thing with obviously with heart conditions and stuff like the dogs, that they could just one morning we wake up and he's gone. So it's a bit scary. And Pandora's 12 as well, so they're all getting on now. But I would like to visit. Yeah, there's a few countries I'd like to go to actually for a visit and to experience the culture. I'd like to go to India as well. You know, I've got Indian blood in me, you see. So, Mum was born in India, so I would like to visit there. Probably end up with diarrhea constantly, but there you go. My sister went a few years back, and she literally just had constant tummy upsets. You know, the food was delicious, but it obviously didn't agree with her. Would love going camping in the beautiful Canadian outback. Me too. I just a bit wary of the bears. Get eaten by a bear. I don't fancy that one. But no, I love camping. Anything like that. Wild camping especially. Just a bivvy. Canada will be manufacturing more military equipment itself. It's like what's going on in Germany at the moment, you know, and other countries. Look at Ukraine and crikey, they're not just building the stuff for themselves now. They're building drones for the markets now. It's amazing what they've achieved. I always say Alberta's a bit like it's like Canada's Texas. There. Yeah, yeah. It's. I have got family in Canada, and one of my grandchildren. I mentioned this before. Actually, done this live stream. One of my grandchildren recently returned from Canada. With the family, what have you, and I've got another one going later on this year. Mark Goose says, if you ever come to St. John's, you better come reach out for me. I'll show you around. Oh, I'd love that. That'd be brilliant. I love anything green. I love nature. I love nature. I'm not particularly interested in cities and stuff like that. Although it's supposed to be interesting, but it's just, yeah, different creatures. Bigger spiders, maybe, I don't know, and snakes. So, yeah, it could be fun. Poland, yeah. Oh, I haven't been to Poland. My son went to Poland, and he couldn't believe how cheap it was. The food and the drink was ridiculously cheap. Eastern Europe, I suppose. That's what on it. Ukraine has no hope in hell to survive without. Oh, that's rubbish. Without surrendering. Well, not be funny. It doesn't sound like hope at the moment, since the United States has decided to wash their hands of them. It's disgraceful. Willing to take whatever they can, but it is such an own goal not supporting Ukraine. It's madness, absolute madness. All Donald Trump is doing is giving Russia the ability to have more minerals, more this, more that. So they end up having a bigger military, a strong military, more land, more bases. It's obviously not good for Europe as a whole, but certainly it's not good for the United States either. It's so narrow-minded. Don't forget to beat the old like button while you're here. We like Russia more than Ukraine, but you would say it, wouldn't you? Yeah. No, but I wouldn't. No. Why do you like a country that, quite frankly, suppresses its people? It's a tyranny. That's what it is. It's a tyranny. The people in Russia are frightened to speak out. I was in East Berlin a few months after the wall came down. It was so cheap, says Konikov. Restaurants, etc. I can imagine, they also had to revive their economy, didn't they, Yep, Mark, they do. Russia and, Putin and Trump are like that, they are. If you know what I mean. Yeah, golden showers and all that, Oh, who's got to rub in the cream today? What's a camper van? What, a LAV 3? Is that a camper van? I don't know. An APC with wheels. I've got a camper, but that's just a typical camper. I bought it cheap, done a load of work on it, what have you, get up to standard inside, because like a lot of these things, they're built poorly. There's a bit of flex in the roof. I didn't like that, so I put some cherry wood beams across, all shaped and stuff, very nice. I fitted loads of solar panels on the roof. I've got 450 watts of solar on the roof, and 2 inverters, which keep the actual engine battery charged and the auxiliary batteries charged. What else I felt? I got fitted Wi-Fi into it. Well, loads of stuff, really. Obviously inverters and then changed it around inside. But I upgraded this. the electrics, all that sort of stuff, just upped it. It's an armoured personnel carrier made in Canada. And the first I think it's left for you, saw service in Afghanistan. Best friend is a military mechanic who used to work on them. They better bring camper, wouldn't they? Apart from the fuel, I can't imagine the fuel would be cheap. Can you? Oh, what have we got here? Oh, cheers, Daffy DD. Yeah, right, Reese. Oh, cheers for that. From Oz, you got a heart of gold. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. I just don't want to see harm to others, really. You know. And animals. I love animals and nature. But you know, it's I don't get it. I don't understand why these people are so cruel. For them, it's pleasure. It's pleasure, and it's sad. But also, I don't see how it's going to heal. I don't see how it's going to heal. It's going to take a very long time. And the protests are obviously very good and what have you, and it's good to see there's good people out there, you know. I just can't see. I just can't see it mending anytime soon. I really can't. It's going to take a very long time. And also, while Donald Trump is there promoting his madness, because that's what it is. It's just madness. You know, it's even in Australia, what have you. They've the US government has been pretty negative towards Australia. That relationship is always teetering on the edge, isn't it? It's not exactly very healthy. And then obviously got the AUKUS deal and stuff like that Trump seems to want to go against, and was it Trump regime? Yeah, Trump and Boris Johnson that got Australia to dump the deal with France on the submarine deal, what have you, and then it all backfires. You know, the United States sounds like, oh, I don't know if we can supply you with submarines now. Thanks for that, my friend. It does make me wonder, it really does. I can see Ukraine becoming the beast from the east, most powerful military in Eastern Europe, with experience like Poland. Yeah, I can see that, but they've got to survive this first. They've got to survive this. It's amazing what they've achieved. It's absolutely amazing. Formidable people. Our trade's now going to Canada from Australia to Canada instead. But that's brilliant news. It's good for Canada and good for Australia. Sadly, you're going to have to ostracise the United States. What worries me, though, is that there are good people in the United States. You know, there's plenty of good people. I know some, you know. I don't know if she's here today, but there's Gingers. She's lovely and she's in the United States. And it's just, it affects everybody, you know. When the economy suffers, everybody suffers. It's not just the right-wing mad people. And obviously Donald Trump, he's never going to suffer because he's just, well, he's basically grifting, and you know, buggering everybody up. So it's a crying shame, really. You have to build on relationships. There's, you know, you don't do your utmost to break them down. You need to build on them. The thing about Donald Trump is he's always been attacked because he's a horrible individual. So he's open to being attacked, and now he just wants to take out on everybody. He has a history of it. And I just cannot see for the life of me a way out of this. You know, well, I can, but it's not going to happen. You know, it's like you need a coup d'etat or something like that. You know, or do what the French did. Yeah, chop off their heads, build a guillotine. I'll help you. But you know, everyone asks themselves what these people don't seem to understand or realise. The ICE, you know, and all those people from immigration and what have you, Christy Gnomes, all those people, Tom Homan, who are literally breaking the Constitution, they are breaking the law. And by breaking the law, they will potentially, if, for instance, Donald Trump does end up being got rid of, with, you know, and you end up with a Democrat government instead of these Republicans, well, all those people that pushed a right-wing narrative and breaking the law, the Constitution, denying people's right to have due process, turning up without warrants, and all that stuff, that's crime. That's criminal. These people, you know, probably why they're obviously covering their faces up, but you can still see who they are. You know, anyone who sees these people with their masks on will know who they are. You know, I've seen some really fat people as well. I mean, immensely fat people with all rigged up, all the gear on, what have you. And it's a bit crikey. You don't need to see your face. There's not that. There can't be that many people that big, you know, who happen to be in ice. But yeah, they're all potentially going to end up in The Hague, in front of the courts in the United States. It's happened before, hasn't it? You know, people have been put in jail for pretty much exactly the same thing. So I think there's going to be a period, if, for instance, Donald Trump hasn't removed your right to vote and the have your midterms as normal, and then obviously, in the next government, I could see there being a bit of a clean-up, putting these people back in fucking jail, including the ones that Donald Trump pardoned. He's been using this executive signature, what have you, and a little bit too much, hasn't he? He's been using it in a way to change not change the Constitution, but go against the Constitution. No one ever knows if it's bait or a bot. Well, like Kiri, I think was it Kiri or Cat's Eye, who was telling me yesterday about someone's trying to get me to say the N-word. Yep, Trump is an absolute imbecile. He's dangerous. He's immensely dangerous, which is a massive worry. Yeah, they need to be tried for crimes against humanity, or just against the Constitution. Haven't given anyone due process. Every person in the United States is allowed to have due process, whether you are an American citizen or not. Yeah, you might be right. It might not ever happen. I bet he smells bad. Donald Trump must stink. He probably smells of formaldehyde. It's just, when he finally pegs it, and he's going to expect to have a viewing. He's going to be, put their flowers around him and stuff like that. They're literally going to have to get some cellulose and a developer spray gun and have to stick a few coats of primer and a top coat and maybe a bit of lacquer and maybe a bit of metal fleck in there as well, just about orange. Because obviously he's going to start going blue, isn't he? Oh dear. One day, we all hope. Donnie thinks that the Constitution is something to do with his diaper. Oh dear. Those concentration camps are horrendous. And there's only one reason why they're not letting officials go in. It's just because they are horrendous. They're overcrowded. Some of the stories coming out of them where people have been released is just shocking. Hello, Tim Lawns, hope you're well. So grab your popcorn and strap in, and the food between Elon versus Trump is going to be very entertaining. The American Party. There's never going to be another right-wing party. He says down the middle, but, he's not exactly down the middle, is he? And all that, Elon Musk and his Nazi saloon. These people are just horrendous. Grab your popcorn. Does anyone think Trump is shitting bricks because of BRICS? Well, he's threatening other countries with an additional 10% tariff if they talk to the BRICS countries. So another 10%. Oh, Billy Kershaw, you're planting seeds. Radagast the Brown. I'm planting seeds. I've been planting seeds. I've been putting more parsnip seeds in. It's about the last chance I've got. But I've got a bit. What am I drinking? I'm just drinking. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm very tired. I didn't even realise I was live streaming, weren't I? About 2 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get much sleep. I slept well, but I didn't get much. Or didn't have enough, so I just got an energy drink. I don't normally drink these things, to be honest, but sometimes I need it. I don't sleep well, anyway. I've got so much stuff on my mind all the time, and it kind of like plays on me. And then I'm sort of laying there thinking about stuff that go around circles. It's just. I just think Donald Trump. He loves this game. He likes the game too much. That's why he's not worried about the trade deals. He's just thinking about the next game. He's we're all becoming his plaything. I just don't see anything positive coming from it. I really don't. He has all these like self-imposed deadlines, doesn't he? Then he got this 90 deals in 90 days, and he's got 3 sort of deals, but they're not actually not really proper deals. So 90 deals, but then he's managed to get 3 roughed out deals. And the exports in the United States, they are down. Back in May, they were down. It's going to get tough. And like I said to you, it does worry me for the people who rely on this money in there. It's just to feed their families and stuff. It amazes me how some people in the bag a lot, how they don't understand or where the money comes from, how a country actually functions. Some people are so narrow-minded in their view, they don't think of all the nuances and all the things that affect, a particular outcome. I just find that it's level of madness, really, isn't it? It's just an absolute level of madness. They're so indoctrinated into a way of thinking. Like, the Republicans are good and the Democrats are bad. How do you get past that? Siskomet says, I'm frightened that my son's going to lose his healthcare. There's so many people really deeply worried about him who've got children and young adults that are heavily reliant on this healthcare, Medicaid. Like Down syndrome children, or children, with starved oxygen or other complications, and they're going to lose their ability to live. It's disgusting. See, my son, I've got 6 kids, and one of our sons is disabled. He's got a condition called torsion dystonia. And I had a clue how we would have managed without some financial assistance. To be fair, this was in the UK, so that was good. That helped. But without that, and now Donald Trump is pretty much removing it from people. And you get these idiots like who seem to think that everybody can go to work. Some people just can't go to work. It's like, even like for me, because I have this fibromyalgia, it's actually quite difficult some days for me to function, to do my job, because I'm a woodworker, you see, and then just to do my job. And the idea I'll be working in a factory or something like that, I wouldn't be able to manage it. Some days I'm good, some days I'm bad. Some days it's a bit of both. You need, hey Alistair, you need no excuses to sleep. You're the stuff you do. Our family members in the USA, okay, that loved Trump, and now they're in danger. Oh my giddy aunt. Talk about shooting yourself in the bloody face. So they're all going to lose their healthcare. And it amazes me how people... I didn't understand or realise that Medicaid in some areas were called different things. It's the same thing, basically, but it's called different names from state to state. Some of them have got Medicaid actually in the... in the name, sorry, and some of them haven't. These people, we're on this, but that's Medicaid, It's the same thing. It's funded by the same people, by the same organisation. That surprised me, that people didn't understand this. Because I thought it should be common knowledge, Although some people just don't go to the doctors, they just don't, they just rough it out, they don't get any medications. But then you got those who really, really need it, it's a case of life and death for some people, a bit of insulin, or maybe, for instance. And it's even me, my thyroid issues. If I don't have that medication, my thyroid levels go way off. Luckily, it's got no side effects with that particular stuff. Don't get old, right? Don't abuse your bodies either. I've worked in construction most of my life, and woodworking, and on the tools, laying bricks as well, And doing physical hard work like that, it buggers you up. Your brain might be alright, but the rest of it is just fall apart. Oh, Mother Nature's screaming. I remind you of Jack Black, do I? It's kind of pointless working for money when it's been printed to oblivion. I think it's devalued, doesn't it? But generally speaking, they'll only print money if they can maintain the inflation. They don't generally just print money willy-nilly. And that's kind of the argument between Powell and Trump, who's called for his resignation. Powell, the federal bank bank governor in the United States. But he's right. Because it's a funny old machine to maintain the inflation so it doesn't grow. You have to keep interest rates. That's one of the tools they use to maintain, to manage interest rates, isn't it? To manage inflation. Sorry, they use interest rates to manage the inflation. There's various ways of doing it, but there's two main ways. That's just one of them. The thing is, when you have a lot of growth, and there was a lot of growth at one point in the United States under Biden, then it calmed down. But see, when you get too rapid growth, you might think, oh, this is good, we've got all this growth, isn't that fantastic? Well, then you've got the potential of inflation. When things grow too fast, you get inflation. You think about the in the 80s when you had like loads of money and all that, and the uppies and all that, and people were earning too much bloody money very, very quickly. Money's becoming too easy to get, especially for people in that field. And they had to bring out something that was more... Well, they had to restrict it. Because we're in a recession. House prices plummeted in the UK. Probably everywhere else as well. But yeah, it got difficult for a bit. Oh, Ollie's dyslexic. I've got some dyslexic friends, dyspraxic. Where am I from? I am from Norfolk, in the UK. I'm currently in France, though. I live in France. You know, I escaped the United Kingdom before Brexit, back in 2010. Camembert or brie? I prefer a camembert, but they're totally different cheeses anyway. You get a camembert. One of the popular things you do is you shove it in the oven on low, warm it up so it's all soft and gooey inside, and then you have some dips. And dunk your dips into the fatty cheese, which is rather nice, and bits of tomato and stuff like that. A camembert. Yeah, brie's nice, but it's I don't know. I like strong cheeses myself. Take care, Alstom. Thanks, my friend. Well, I'm going to be nipping off in a second. I've done just over an hour, and I've got to go and help Mrs. I bet Caroline's cheesed off with Marcus at the moment. Probably because I'm always on these lives. No, she's all right. She's a good lass. Is my dear wife. She's a good woman. We get on really well, to be fair, and we spend a lot of time together. So it can't be wrong then, can it? You know, we do get on. We have our little tiffs here and there, you know, like any relationship. But as a whole, we do get on. Oh, Sushkamet has. I have fibromyalgia too. It can be terrible. I know, and I don't know about you, but it's not always the same. I just at the moment I've got a lot of pain in the top of my arms, up here. First I thought I pulled it, but I hadn't. And then my legs and sort of the major muscle groups get a lot of pain, and it's like a stabbing pain, sort of like nerve pain. It's a fucking nerve. Oh, killer it is. And other days I'm okayish, and then the other day I'll be, I don't know if I can get up today, but you do because you have to. And also if you don't, it kind of makes it worse if you don't move. You have to kind of keep pushing through it, which is just uncomfortable. Yeah, and also the things that really bug me is when you get people, when you tell them you've got fibromyalgia, they all think imaginary conditions. It's all in your head. No, it's in your vagus nerve. It's a nerve condition, and because it's a nerve condition, it affects every part of your body, from your voice to your IBS. You know, it's just horrendous. It's not great. The good old times in the 80s when money was easy. And it's not going to happen again in our lifetime. There was a lot of protections put in place, and there's a lot of protections put in after the 2008 crash. But I don't know if they have yet, but the United States government and in the UK as well have both said that they want to remove these protections, which is madness. They're there for a reason. Oh, I got CBT, so like hemp oil. So my mum has fibromyalgia, and she takes 200 milligrams of CBT. Is it the oil or is it the actual extraction? CBD. And it knocks about half. I see. Gets rid of about half the pain. It's a funny thing, though. It's this. It feels like to me that it's my brain my body telling my brain that the pain is worse than what it really is. So it's like I'm being tricked into thinking or feeling that it's worse than what it is. Because I find that I get a lot of pain, even for instance, if I have a little bit of do a bit of exercise and a normal healing or recovery that you'd normally get, and then it's like 5 times as worse. Take care, Daffy D and Reese. News from Ukraine just coming through. As in, what's going on in Ukraine? So have a quick peek. Because it's we talk about a lot of stuff, but we don't talk enough about what's going on in Ukraine. Quite frankly, it's shocking. Oh, wait, that's not what I was after. It's bad enough of China saying that we can't tolerate Ukraine winning this war, which is a pretty horrendous thing to say. Oh, for Christ's sake, come back. I keep doing a search for it, and it's right, Ukraine. It's going straight to articles. Why is it doing that? That's bizarre. The hero of Ukraine commander developed. See, that's too old. That's not what I want. So Hegseth got rid of the fucking cancelled the weapons, didn't he? Oh, I know why. That's because I'm searching my tabs, you flippin' idiot. No wonder. Oh, dear me, I've lost my mind, I have. Oh, that's better, I was going to say. Oh, my God. Right. That's no good. Right, so... Oh, I got four dead and 36 injured. Another bombing raid from Russia on Ukraine. I know it's one of them things that's a bit of a taboo. I actually believe we should have put boots on the ground. I really do. I think we should have gone in there within the first 6 months and helped Ukraine. We always coward. We're always cowering. We are. You know, you've got leaders that are cowering towards Donald Trump. We've got leaders that cower towards, Putin and what have you. Always got, you can't poke the bear. He's got his finger on the button and all that sort of stuff. It's madness. It's absolute madness. And then when I see Mark going on about Donald Trump like some kind of messiah, it's just, oh, Christ, people are painful. They really are. So, what's going on here? Right. So, war in Ukraine. It's all coming in French. Okay, that's nothing. Yeah, so there's been more bombing of Ukraine. It's like every single night now, isn't it? You know, Kiev is a light, you know. Let me come. Well, thanks, guys. What I'm going to do is call it now. Done the art, and I say for now, it's long enough for live stream. I'll do another one later, probably. But I hope everyone has a nice day this Monday, and don't get too stressed about stuff. You know, we need to find a solution to this. Like maybe stick our heads in the sand. Like, no, it's not happening. It's not happening around us. But please, put the old like button on your way out, and thanks to the spanners helping get rid of these feckin' bots. You know, you think YouTube would be able to do it themselves, wouldn't you? But no. Anyway, have a lovely day.